Part 2 of the Intro to SRI, Somato-Respiratory Integration, or we can simply think of as breath-body connection. So in the first one, we just found the location of what felt more easy and relaxed and connected versus more stressful, more restricted, more rigid. Now we're going to learn what to do. We'll learn what we can do with that connection to actually further our healing and start to cut the patterns of stress that have led to where we are right now and start to rewrite these programs for new, more healthy patterns. We can use it to, again, simply walk ourselves down from stress in the moment. We can use it to start to help bring comfort to an area that is actually in pain or in so much discomfort that it's causing us to become increasingly distressed. Or we can use it as a form of self-care to just consistently become more connected to our body, consistently become more familiar with our own state of healing versus distress, and start to rewrite those patterns on a day-by-day basis more toward a state of healing versus stress. So really quick, we're going to do it together one more time. We're going to feel these areas of our body, and we're going to notice which one's the best and which one's the worst. Okay? 2 breaths each location. Really connecting to what that sensation is, or what that association is that you have with that body part. Noticing the contrast between the good and the bad, between what works and what doesn't work. Okay. Again, if you noticed the good but you couldn't differentiate the bad, that's okay. Just pick one. We can still make this work. Same the other way around. If you noticed the bad but the other 2 were just okay, pick one. We're still going to make it work. What we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth between an area of high connection, good positive association, and a feeling of ease. And we're going to go switch our hands over between breaths to the area of more restriction, less positive association. And we're going to see if we can use that positive area of influence to then change the area that is more restricted. Okay, for me, I'm going to use the top for that number 1, the positive, the most accessible area. And I'm going to use the middle for the most difficult area. Yours might be different. Yours could be totally switched. It could be using the stomach versus the middle or the top. Use your areas that you found on your own. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 breaths in the most positively associated area, and we're going to take 1 breath in the area that's more restricted. Then we're going to go back to 1, then we're going to go 2, 2. Follow along with me. 2 breaths in the positive area. Now switch to the other area. 1 breath. Back to the other area, the most accessible, easiest area. 2 breaths. Reconnecting. Allowing your breath to be as deep as is natural, and then go to the other area, the more restricted area. 1 breath. Notice the contrast. Back to the easy area. Last time, 2nd breath. Now 2 breaths at the more restricted area. And put your hands down. Now what we're looking for is for that more restricted area to start to soften, for the less connected area to start to connect, for the more stressful area to start to find ease and connection and peace, right? So we're looking for the less connected, more challenging area to become more like the positive, easy, comfortable area. You may have noticed it right there just through our short exercise. You possibly will need to do it by yourself at your own pace without me talking, maybe with your eyes closed, to really feel that connection. What I want for you to look for is a simple 5% shift, 10%, 15% shift. If you find more than that, if it's a 50 or 100% shift, awesome, you just completed it, you just did it. You actually brought that state of healing and ease from the one area, and your brain, having found that and connected with that, was able to then shift your physiology, the stress state of your nervous system and how your nervous system is functioning in conjunction with your organs and your cells. You brought that sense of positive function to the other area, and you made a shift. What you did was you repatterned the body toward a state of healing. You brought an area of your body that was in distress out of distress and into a state of proper function. And so you shifted your physiology more towards healing. If you haven't found it yet, no problem. Sometimes it takes a few repetitions on your own at your own pace to really get that connection. What you want to look out for is that you might notice that after you come to the more difficult area, at first when you come back to the easier area, it's no longer easy. It kind of became a little more challenging. That's very normal. Take a few extra breaths, really connect to that attribute, that adjective or that sense or that feeling that you gave that area. Connect to that connection, that depth, that ease, that positive association. Once you get that, then go back again. You're just doing one breath at the difficult area until it starts to soften a little bit. Once it starts to soften and open up, you can go back and forth, inviting that connection and that ease into that more difficult area. And you're actually shifting your physiology away from stress and illness towards health and healing. What you can do with this once you get it down. So first thing I want you to do is, if you haven't already mastered the first part of the exercise, pause here and just get comfortable finding the ease in your body. Then come back and start to do this, where you're bringing the ease into the area of distress. Finally, you can use this after you get really good at it to take that area of ease and put it anywhere on your body that you're feeling a particular state of distress. If you have neck tension or a headache or an upset stomach or a pain somewhere else in your body, you can actually bring that sense of ease over to that area by touching that area with your hands and breathing there consciously. It may be more difficult, it may be easier for you, but it's an exploration for you to start to master how you can actually shift in real time your own physiology towards health and healing versus distress and disease. Practice that, and when you're ready, move on to part 3.